Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining this great We Love Travel demo, which will show you how best to use the platform for this event. So prior to logging into this page, you of course will have registered, and you'll receive an email with your details. So this will include the email that you registered with. So this in this case is Joe plus WLT grip.events. I can then log in. My badge ID or registration ID will be included in your email. So in this case, it is Joe WLT. I can then claim that account and enter a password and just confirm that password there. And of course, from this point onwards, I will be using this password every time that I decide to log in. I can create this account and I will now be taken to the onboarding steps. So here we've got the first one. So this is where we basically ask you to fill in your profile with as much information as possible. Obviously, all of this information is really important when it comes to how the AI works and how we can match you with other people based on your preferences at this stage. So here we ask you questions like the country. So I'm going to put in Andorra and Antarctica. You've got your country of interest. So again, there's a few options here that you can pick as many options as you want. You've then got the industry that you're interested in or work in. So here we've got airline, co-working, concierge service are the ones I'm going to pick here. Then the industry of interest, so boat rental and cloud service. Then there's the opportunity to put in a website. So here I could, for example, I could go to ITB Berlin, go to their website, and I could copy and paste this link here and use that as my website. I can add that and then update. Finally, here we've got networking session. So here I can choose whether I'll be available for the networking sessions. These could vary slightly depending on the different type of user that is entering the platform. So if you are a trade visitor, you may have a slightly different experience to myself. I'm having here, I am a exhibitor representative. I can then click next. And finally, we have this step, which is about data consent. So we need to get consent from you in order to be able to provide you with relevant matches. So you just consent here and then you can start networking. First page you'll see here is your recommendations. So if you click on this tab here, recommended for you, you will see all of the people that we have recommended for you based on those metadata fields that you filled in during onboarding. If I go to my profile, I'll be able to see my name, my surname, my headline, and some other key fields, as well as those onboarding questions that you just answered on your first login. So here I can click into these and I can update as many of these as I want. Just need to remember to click update there. You've got the opportunity to write a summary here as well. This is just a free form text field, so by all means write as much as you want in there. You can add a profile picture, which is something you may want to do. We would really recommend this because we find people with profile pictures are far more likely to receive meeting requests from other users. If you do make any changes to this page here, just remember to click save. That's really, really important. We can then go to manage my availability. This is something that could be really useful for you guys. During the show, of course, we've got people that are tuning in from all over the world. So it's important that you guys are able to block out certain times in your calendar. If you're not going to be available, for example, on Friday between 8 and 11, you can block out all of those times as busy. What this means is when you come to book a meeting or people come to book meetings with you, that time will automatically be blocked out, and it means you won't receive meeting requests during that time. Something that could be really useful for you guys and of course allow you that flexibility of when you're available and when you're not. If you want to mark a whole day as busy, you can do that just by clicking this button here, and to mark it as available, you click that button again. If you make any changes, again, just remember to click save at the bottom here. If we just go slightly down here, we've got export meetings. So once you've, of course, arranged a load of meetings over the show dates, really important that you're able to look at those meetings post-event. So we give you the option here to generate a CSV. just so you guys know, this won't include a telephone number or an email, just because that is not part of the data compliance that we have in place. So it will include the name and the meeting time and date. So it just gives you that option here once you have those meetings in your calendar. I'm just going to go back to the home section here and back to recommendations. So I was saying earlier, once you have onboarded and you've given us that data, we can provide you with really good matches based on that. So you'll see here I've been recommended Jessica, and I have a few calls to action here. So I've got a few options of things that I can do next. So if I wanted to go and have a look at Jessica's profile, I could click on her here and it will take me to her full profile. If we go back to recommendations now, we've got the full list of everyone who we've been recommended. Here I can show interest. So this might be something that if you're not quite ready to book a meeting with someone, you can just show interest in them. You can also skip if it's maybe someone who you're not interested in meeting with. This will of course be an anonymous action and the person won't know whether you've skipped them or not. You've then got the option to request a meeting. This is something we really want you guys to do, want you guys to be networking and meeting. So you can do that just by clicking request a meeting here. Here you'll see that I've got the option to meet with Julianne, and you can see her name is written here. You've got the date and the time, so you can change the date and time depending on when you want to be available for this meeting. And the location is a virtual meeting room in this case. So as an online attendee, I will of course always be using the virtual meeting room because I'm not going to be available on site for meetings. Please take into account when you are booking meetings with people, whether they're online or on-site attendees, because that will of course make a huge amount of difference if they're going to be able to attend the meeting or not. Within here, you will have different options to say an on-site meeting location or the virtual meeting room. If you would like to send a personal message to the person saying, hey, it'd be great to meet, does this time work for you? You can of course write this within this section and then click send. Once you've done that, the meeting will generate and you'll see this pop up here saying meeting request sent. And you are able to do a couple of things straight away. So at this stage, I can cancel or reschedule, which is something that could be quite important if you maybe make a mistake. So it's something that you guys have available to you there. You can also see that I've shown interest in Julianne by scheduling this meeting. This is something that happens automatically. And if Julianne is to show interest in me back, what that would mean is we could chat freely without having a meeting in the calendar. So you can only message people either as part of a meeting invite or if you have shown mutual interest. This is very, very important to note because of course we don't want any spamming and we don't want people sending hundreds of messages to people who aren't necessarily interested in them. If we then go back to home, we can see a few different tabs here on the left. So you'll see interested in you. This is of course people who have clicked show interest on your profile. You have my connections, so the people who you have had mutual interest with or had a meeting with, they will populate within here. My interested list, so people who I have shown interest in. My skip list, so the people who I've not anonymously skipped. And then some other ones down here, which we'll just look at now. So my schedule is where all of your meetings will populate. They will all appear within this list here. So as soon as you've booked in a meeting, whether that's pending or accepted or declined, it will appear within this. If you want to see past meetings, you can scroll up at this stage and look at past items. You have the ability to select a date or a meeting status in order to be able to filter through your meetings at this stage as well. The other things that will appear within my schedule are sessions that you have selected. So if you have added a session to your personal schedule, then they will also appear within my schedule. If we now just go onto the event agenda, you'll see some of the sessions that we have set up at the moment here. So you'll see there's various different ones here. You can again use the filters, so dates, tracks, and location. Tracks could refer to themes, so that could be something that again is really useful for you guys to use as a filter. In order to add something to your personal schedule that we were just looking at, you can click Add to Schedule button here. Or if you would like to see more information about a particular session, you can click into that session there and you can see a little bit more information here. You can see that there is a session sponsored just listed above here that you can show interest in or skip, and you can also add to schedule at this stage. This is really important to note. Once you've done this, it will appear within your schedule section. So once you add, one of those sessions, it will appear within here. Below here, we've got various different lists. So we've got the list of trade visitors, exhibitors, exhibitor representatives, and speakers. So if you're ever looking for a particular person on the profile, you can use on the platform, you can use these lists. They also have lots of filters, so it makes it easier to find the person that you're interested in. And you can also search for people or sessions using this particular search bar. Very, very important that you're able to find what you want quickly. We have recognized the fact that you need to do that. On the right-hand side, you've got connections. So once you've formed connections, so people who you've shown mutual interest with or you've had a meeting with, they will appear within this connections box. This will allow you to message them instantly, something that, of course, we want you to be able to do. We want you to be able to network freely once you have formed a connection. Really, really interesting. And this is something that works in a very similar way to Facebook or LinkedIn, for example. Next to a person's profile picture, you may see a green light. This will show that they are online at that moment. So I would presume you'd be able to get a reply slightly quicker at that stage. Thanks very much for listening to this really quick run through of how the platform works. Of course, we hope you have a fantastic show and we will see you very, very soon.